my loves, it's been a while, hasn't it, since I've done a kitchen vlog. Well, please believe me when I say that this one is much needed. Much needed, and marks many things that I'm going to talk to you about today. If I get up very quickly and shut the back door, it's because my neighbour starts mowing the lawn again, and the noise is a bit much. And I got really angry about it before. That was the bad wolf. Did you watch our chat with the lovely Jordan from Vegan Camp Out? If you didn't, we uploaded it on Wednesday, and yes, it's an hour and 43 minutes, but it's a lovely conversation between three vegans who have we've certainly been critical of some of the elements of Vegan Camp Out. And it was good. It was a real good chance to kind of have a really good chat and cover everything from conception to controversy and everything that lies in between. It's well worth watching. I'm going to link it up there just in case you missed it. So you'll have noticed recently, you know, we've been I think we only missed one allotment vlog in the last 3 months, so we did pretty well to do that, considering that the last 3 months have been beautifully hectic. That's probably the best way to say it. So, and it's just starting to slow down, hence a kitchen vlog. I have a chance to have a think. I know, what do I want to, what do I want to do from here? And then that gets my brain ticking, and I start acknowledging all these things about myself, like I've been at points feeding my bad wolf and not my good one. I'll clarify that for those that haven't heard the story before. It's something that I think incredibly beautiful. Always have. It's a Native American parable, if you like. Grandfather and grandson sat around the campfire, and grandfather is telling his grandson about two spirits, two wolves that live inside all of us, and one of them is angry and in some ways evil and nasty and competitive and greedy, and the other is loving and compassionate and giving and open and honest and true, and they are constantly fighting within us, and it's a constant battle. And the grandson says, which one will win? And the grandfather says, the one you feed. Gives me tingles from my toes to the top of my head every time I say it. I love it. I think it's such a beautiful way to encapsulate a very simple but very prevalent thing within us humans. We all have the ability to focus on the good wolf and feed him and nurture him, and yet in today's day and age it seems that a lot of people are very driven by their bad wolf. It's like there's an addiction to being angry. So anyway, as many of you who have watched kitchen vlogs regularly will know, I used to do them regularly, and then 3 months ago approximately, on June the 5th 2022, the Vegan Queens did their first gig of the year, and it was a lovely little charity gig for Mind, and it was beautiful to get out there and start performing again. First let me just go to a couple of months before that. At the beginning of April, I started to dabble with intermittent fasting and OMAD, 1 meal a day. work in conjunction with each other. So it was, you know, I at least had one very big meal a day, and I started to lose weight, and it really pleased me because I'd been struggling for ages to lose weight. So that was good. By the time we got to June 5th and we did that first gig, I was slimmer and feeling better, and I was like, yeah, you know, here we are, another vegan queen season, because Pride season is usually, when we're not in lockdown, very busy for us, and this year was the busiest. So June 5th we did the show. June 6th I started my new job as a support worker, and so these two things started in conjunction with each other. I went from doing literally nothing except YouTube and the occasional vegan queen thing that we filmed or whatever, to a gig literally every weekend, bar one a couple of weeks ago, and now this one. Every weekend, and some weekdays as well. We had gigs, random things, beautiful things, and it was 3 months. It's like from the beginning of June until now, we have not stopped. We've been working 4 days a week, Jason and I, Monday to Thursday. We're very, 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 very lucky to have found a job that I love, and that I can work the same days, so that we have Friday, Saturday and Sunday by and large off together. But then there was a Vegan Queens gig shoved into those weekend gaps, and so they weren't really weekends, and yet we still managed to hold down our jobs and the Vegan Queens gigs, and do an allotment vlog most weeks bar one, and do a meals vlog every week, and some other occasional stuff as well, like the new shopping series, which we'll get back into soon. You know, is this the best UK supermarket for vegans? And if you're new to the channel and you fancy having a look at what UK supermarkets have for vegans, I'll pop our vegan supermarket hauls playlist up there, and the newest ones are always at the top of the list. So this weekend was meant to be very different than the one we're about to have. Today's Friday the 26th of August. I'm probably going to film this and upload it today, just so you're aware. And last night we should have met with the lovely Ankarad, Linda and Ian in Manchester to eat at Wholesome Junkies for the first time together and vlog it. And this morning we should have been driving down to Northampton to see our friend Kay and her daughters Johnny and Betsy, because we've not seen them in their new house yet. That's what should have been happening. Yesterday Jay picked me up from work. We got home and we had a flat tire. Now those of you who know that this new car that we have, new to us, it's not a new car, this new to us car that we have, we've had quite the problems with, and all that stuff builds up. So we were 3 days without her because she broke down after a drag gig. It was a nightmare. So we had a flat tire, and of course these things are quite quick to fix. You know, you can usually get them done in an hour, but because it was the end of the day and we knew we couldn't get it sorted until today, we had to cancel Ankarad. For the record, by the way, they were coming up here anyway for something. I'm sure they won't mind me saying, for a hospital appointment. So it wasn't you know, I would have walked there had it been a specific plan, but it was just taxis would have been really expensive, and I'm still a bit funny about getting on public transport at night. That's all to do with the aura. And if you don't know what that is, I'll link a vlog up there should you fancy having a look after this one. I do this so that when I'm editing it I know where to mark it, you know, for the links. Anyway, so we got home, we realised we had a flat tyre. It was like nearly 6 o'clock. There was nothing we could do about it until today. So I had to message Karen and Sam, I'm so sorry, we can't meet you after all. Sucks. Look, that's the way it goes. And then we were both like, even when we get the tyre fixed, are you really confident doing a 2.5 hour motorway journey? And neither of us were. And then, so we cancelled with our friend Kay as well. And then we were talking about it, and Jason's not one to sit in front of a camera like this and talk to you. Not because he's not an open person, it's just not him. He's very genuine to who he is, as I am. This is me, I do this. But we had a talk after we'd kind of cancelled everything, and Jay said, you know, I've got to be honest, that the tyre, that then was like the straw. It's a terrible saying. The straw that broke the camel's back. The straw that chafed the camel's back. And then the camel said, hey, that's chafing. And the fella said, oh, hey, I'm not sorry, Margaret. She was called Margaret. But for Jason, that was like, I'm about to burn out. Because of course, when we're doing a Vegan Queens gig, Jason drives us, takes pictures, is sometimes the technician. So I mean, he said last night, yeah, but I'm not stood there with a face full of makeup and a wig on and heels on for 6 hours. So it's a two-way. We're both very much involved with everything we do, and this one little thing was the thing that was like, nope. Because burnout is a possibility for everybody, and through having our little chat, I realised I'm for energy levels, speaking in reference to energy levels, I'm glad the Pride season's ended now. I know it's Manchester Pride this weekend, but the Vegan Queens don't do Manchester Pride. My asthma does march, because the march is free, with equity, because they've asked her to for the last few years. So if you're there, if you watch this on Friday and you're there on Saturday, watch out for my asthma. I believe she's wearing white. She'll be with the equity floor and crew. So yeah, she just marches and then comes home, and that then will be the end of her Pride season too. But what an amazing season it's been for us. However, it has led to, like, you know, energy levels are sapped. Channels took a real hit because we haven't been able to do the lives that we normally do. We normally do one every weekend, Saturday, Friday, Sunday. And we've not been able to keep up with that. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about not feeling ashamed and not feeling guilty about putting yourself first. It's crucial, in fact, because you can always do what's expected of you. You can always do that, and you can always do things like, I'm going to go and do this, but I'm doing it for you. And if you start saying that a lot, it's maybe time to pull back, because not everything that you do should be about or for other people. If you're wondering, I haven't shown you, have I? This is part of our merch, clearly marked vegan. Our merch link is always down there in the description, should you fancy. It's very sparkly, do you see? Comes in a range of colours. So yeah, you've got to recognise when the kind of warnings of burnout, possible burnout, come up, and it's fine then for you, as we just have, to say, hang on a minute, well, just hang on a sec, I need a break, I need to just not, you know, even the, you know, I wouldn't have been, if had everything been absolutely fine and we'd got the car fixed. It got fixed about 11:30. Jay came home with it and he said, the guy had said, 95% chance it'll be alright because of where the screw was in the tyre. Because the tyre's a really good tyre with a lot of tread on it, he's tried to fix the tyre rather than replace it. So he said 95% probability it will be fine, but if not, come back, kind of thing. So, but I know that both of us would have still been 2.5 hours on a motorway. It's probably not the best thing. I feel like we need like a month with Rona and no issues at all to get that car confidence back, where you know you can go on a long trip somewhere and not be concerned that there's going to be another issue that is going to add to your already overloaded, you know, capacity. So we've both, this weekend, and it's, as I said, it's Friday the 26th today, and we've got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off. Monday is bank holiday here in the UK, as you'll know if you're from the UK, and Tuesday we both booked off just to tag an extra day on, and we've got no specific plans to do anything like any shopping vlogs or lives or anything at all. That's another reason I suppose I'm doing this, because we need not to, for just this one weekend, we need not to feel like we should be doing this, we could be doing that, why aren't we doing this? We need to just chill out. So Jason's playing game right now in the front room because he hasn't had any computer time for ages and ages, and it takes a lot for me to nail down and acknowledge, okay, this is how I'm feeling, and lay it all out. He gets there eventually, and I'm always very aware of his process and never push it ever, because he gets there. And I'm glad that we had the talk we did last night, and that he owned that he was on the verge of burnout, because I had to kind of take stock for a moment too and think, not in a kind of, oh yeah, me too kind of way, but yeah, no, I get it completely actually. And I've been so kind of high on Gemini that it's easy to miss sometimes when burnout is a probability, not just a possibility. Speaking of Gemini, by the way, because I'm sure some of you get weirded out by the way I talk about her, it's a very complex relationship we have. Gemini is not me in drag. That's the only way I can explain it to you. Gemini is a separate being, an entity, a person who I pass over to now and again. I think that's the only way I can explain it, really. And that's always been the case. Always. And of course, for the past 3 months, she's been incredibly prevalent in my life. She's been there every weekend without fail. This is going to sound weird. I've been able to spend time with her, time that I enjoy. And now things are starting to quieten down. And with the Vegan Queens, because we are kind of, I think we're kind of unique in that we're a very camp cabaret act. You know, we're not a sleek lip sync diva. We've got a nice little niche there. I think we're in a nice little niche. It doesn't belong to us. And I think this year, more than any other year, we've really established who the Vegan Queens are. And you know, we had some crap that was had the potential to really put a dampener on what had been a beautiful season, and we haven't allowed that to happen. We've taken the upper hand in that situation. But you know, there's a couple of things that the couple of things that we're really proud of, I'm going to link down in the first comment. We've got the kind of our abridged vegan journey story with Generation Vegan, and they've got that in a video on their channel here on YouTube. I'll link to that, but I'll also link to the article that is the culmination of a huge series of events that led to us saying we're not going to do drag queen story time anymore. If that's the only way to protect kids from knuckle dragging protesters with foul mouths and foul banners, then that's what we'll do. My local press kind of did a nice article on it, and I like that I was quoted verbatim for most of it. Some places don't do that. The Oldham Times did, so I'll put that down there in the first comment as well. So today has just been about, I had a good night's sleep last night. Today has just been about taking stock of where we both are, energy wise, emotional wise, mental health wise, and acknowledging that we need to just chill out now and ride this roller coaster as it now starts to go downhill. We were on a peak for a long time, and then we had the real hive going over the edge, and now we're halfway down the other side, and there might be another hill coming shortly, or a corkscrew, or a dark tunnel, who can say. But it looks like there might be a nice flat bit coming for at least a short time, and maybe that's been telekinetically built by us as we're on it. We need a flat bit now, so let's ride that. Do keep thinking about that, the wolf story though, and which wolf do you feed? I mean, I was sat on the bus the other day. I was telling Jason about this. I was sat on the bus the other day because I have to get buses with my job, and I went from A to B and then from B to A, and on both of those bus journeys there was an absolutely demonically screaming toddler in a pram. On both of them. You all know about intrusive thoughts, right? I was just like, I can't handle this. Say something to your child, for goodness sake. Tantrum screaming. And I had to kind of, nothing you can do about it. The parent is probably extremely stressed, and that's why they're not doing or saying anything. And those are my trigger warnings, like, because I'm usually quite good at sounding out things, or just what I just did then, just kind of quantifying it. You know, you're annoyed, imagine how the parent feels. You know what I mean? And then it becomes something that you're enduring with somebody, and it's not I'm personally enduring this and I hate it. I want to scream at your toddler and scream at you. But I was there, I'll admit that. And then I was like, oh, you've just given a cookie to the bad wolf. You have, haven't you? Well, let it enjoy it over there now. And give the good one some treats. So how are you, anyway? And do you have any kind of parables or stories or techniques that you use to alleviate? Do you recognise? Do you take stock? Do you sit back sometimes and think, hang on a minute, why am I feeling like this? Because all that stuff is really, really important. And I hope that you do have some methods and techniques, and I hope that you share them in the comments, because you never know who that's going to benefit. And it's important, isn't it, that we all start supporting each other, because there's so much bloody anger and hate and intolerance and trolling and, you know, nastiness in the world, and we create the good stuff that counteracts it. And yeah, sometimes it gets really tiring being an architect constantly, only to see mud flung on your new walls, and, you know, but it's still important. I think I'm going to make a quick brew and then finish with you. It's about to stop anyway. So yeah, I'll make a quick brew and I'll be back. Mate, well, pause it. Make a brew. Hello. The lovely Jabe has just made me a brew. I put kettle on and he said I'll make a brew. He makes best brews. So he's playing a game called Redout, which was, I think it was free on Epic Games on the computer. And it's a bit like Burnout. Not Burnout, bloody Burnout. I'm talking about Burnout. Wipeout. It's a bit like Wipeout 2097, very similar, in fact. Oh, excuse me. I hope I'm not going to have an argument. Say that, don't they, up north, when you've got an itchy nose? Going to have an argument. Or left palm's itchy, money's leaving you, right hand's palm's itchy, you're going to get money. All these superstitions that get rammed into your head as a kid. Like dropping a knife. You drop a knife, never pick it up yourself, apparently. If you spill salt, throw some over your shoulder, good luck. There's loads of different things. And did I say never cross anyone on the stairs? This is my mum, this. So yeah, have a little sip of my coffee. So last night after we'd cancelled everything and kind of dealt with the fallout and acknowledged that we were doing the best thing for ourselves. We had a child's dinner. I call it a child's dinner. Oh no, that was the night before we had the child's dinner. Corn roasts, oven chips and beans, but I put some allotment tomatoes in with beans. Gorgeous. Last night we were all pre-packed. VT, seen that company, VEETEE? They do this like double pack of Thai jasmine rice at the local spa. I'd bought one a few weeks ago when we were going to have a Chinese and I didn't have any brown rice in. So we had that. We had a Prince's plant-based veg curry in a tin, but I padded it out with cherry tomatoes and peas. And we had naan bread and one of those Iceland spicy no chick strips in breadcrumbs. We had one of them and a couple of onion rings. Actually, it was quite delicious. Afterwards, you know, when you kind of have it, you think, oh God, it's almost all pre-packed, pre-made. But I couldn't be bothered last night because I was expecting having a night of cooking, and then I didn't. So I made it as easy on myself as possible, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's all. Now and again, you feel like having a break, giving yourself an easy job, an easy dinner to prepare. It's not all wrong with that. So that's exactly what I did last night. So yeah, we have been and are avoiding burnout at the moment, putting ourselves first, which means not feeling beholden to do anything with anyone or for anyone. Because it's important to do that. Sometimes it's important to take a step back. Hay fever is literally kicking my ass at the moment. It's not as bad today because it's dry, but on days where it's rained or it is raining, brutal, absolutely brutal. So that's nice when you're in full drag and you've got hay fever. Even putting on makeup does it. And guarantee as soon as Gemini's here, her left nostril starts. Got to roll a tissue up and get it up there. Horrible, really. Some of you ladies will know about that though, won't you? Powder going up your nose. So I'm expecting an emotional crash at some point. I know myself well enough to know that it will come, and when it does, I ride it, I deal with it, I cry, I do whatever I need to do to just get it out of my system, because you don't go from 3 months of spending time with somebody you love very much, and I mean Gemini and my asthma, doing things that you love very much, to nothing at all without feeling something. You know, that's just the natural course of things, and I'm okay with that. I can, you know, I'll deal with that. I'll have my cry, don't worry, and it'll be a good cry, and I'll get it out of my system, and then I will start to push for more work. It's important to have these breaks, but I really don't like them to be too long, and particularly because I've got the drag queen clock ticking now, as in, do you know what I mean? I'm a 53-year-old drag queen. Gemini is a 53-year-old woman. We know that these lines and creases will increase, and don't get me wrong, I I love them. Every single line tells a story. Every crease is, you know, from grimaces and smiles that have carried me through my life. And I'm very proud to be able to say I'm 53, because some people don't get here. But I'm also realistic. I know you've got people like Maisie Trollope, who's like an 80-year-old drag queen, but I also know that there will come a time, and Gemini will let me know when that time comes, where she says, I'm done, darling, and I'll have to listen. I'll have to hear that. I bet some of you are thinking, you weirdo, it's you in a dress. That's never been how it's been in my mind, and it's a very important, comforting and empowering perspective that I have. Perception, even. Both. So yeah, we don't know whether there will be any vlogs this weekend. We don't know if there'll be a live. From this vantage point right now, nothing is planned, nothing is set in stone. We're both sitting down and breathing for what feels like the first time in 3 months. And it's very important for us to do that, and it's important for us to do it together and to be able to talk about it openly with each other, and then for me to be able to share our perspectives with you guys, so that you know where we're at right now. Because I know that you're all wonderful and understanding, and you have no expectations from us. Our only expectations are what we have of ourselves for you, but we've taken that out of the equation for now, because we've had to. And we'll rest, and we'll play games, and we'll watch TV, and we'll eat food, and we'll enjoy these days that we have away from work, and away from the vegan queens, and away from anything else that we do. And if at some point we both say, why don't we do a vlog, then you'll be the first to know, of course. But from this vantage point right now, if there's nothing over the next few days, at least you know why now. And yeah, we're just wanting to take some time to take stock of everything and ride the wave, however small or big it may be. But yeah, this 3 months has made me realise once again just how massively important Gemini is to me and for me, and it's a beautiful thing, and I love it so very much. It's like having an inner twin that makes the best with what she's handed over to bring herself to the fore. And like I say, I've really enjoyed spending time with her. She's far more of a, no, I suppose we're equally people. I was going to say she's far more of a people person than I am, but I think that's just that circumstance, because she is often in situations that require her to be a front-facing people person at all times, because there are always pictures or chats or, you know, little motivations or whatever that you need. And I'm very, very, very proud of the vegan queens this year, because at every single performance there has been a little talk about the importance of veganism and the link between animal agriculture and climate change, and request and urge that people start with 1 vegan meal a week and then make it 2, see where you go, that kind of thing. And so it's not only been 3 months of performance. It's also been 3 months of very high profile. Sounds pretentious, but I can't think of another. I'm meaning a lot of exposure, a lot of people. So high profile activism in a very straightforward but very gentle way. And like Jason always said, he always kept his eyes on the faces in the crowd when I had those moments, and watched the acknowledgement and the applause and the kind of, maybe the planting of a seed. So don't ever think that you having a word with a friend is not activism, because it is. It is. Every time you share a picture of your vegan meal and a non-vegan friend likes it and says that looks delicious, that's activism. Right there. That's activism. That's gentle activism. That's like, look at the beautiful food we eat. Would you try some? So yeah, it's been 3 months of performance and activism, and it's been a wonderful 3 months. But right now, as I've said, it's time to sit back, breathe, take a little break from it all, and not worry too much about that. And I sincerely hope that I've adequately explained it all. And I want to thank you for sitting and listening. I hope you had a brew. And we will, of course, see you again very soon. And until then, please be excellent to yourself and each other. Bye, my loves.